Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm showing you how to dehydrate potatoes for long-term storage. Like many things guys, dehydrated potatoes will pretty much last indefinitely, providing you do the correct procedure, you follow the steps, and then you store them in a cool, dark place. As you know guys, I love my dehydrating and I strongly suggest if you're new to dehydrating you to give it a go. You can pick up a dehydrator fairly inexpensively, but the amount of food you can yield, it is absolutely amazing. And a beauty on the top of that, that anything you dehydrate will keep 99% of its nutrients, which is absolutely amazing for a prepper's pantry. So as I said guys, today I'm doing potatoes. I do genuinely have a lot of dehydrated goods, but potatoes are lacking. And unfortunately, with the current predictions of things that are meant to be happening at the end of this year and potentially going forward, potatoes are a really, really good thing to have. To be fair, I don't actually know any single person that doesn't like to eat potatoes. But nonetheless, guys, let's proceed to the key points. So I'm going to dehydrate approximately 4 kilos of potatoes. I'm going to use my Excalibur 9 tray, and it just about comfortably takes 4 kilos. It will yield us approximately this amount, give or take a few pieces that we're potentially not going to be using. So I'm going to get to the main fact, okay? Never keep your potatoes in the fridge if you intend to dehydrate them, because what happens, the starch in the potatoes will turn to sugar. So as soon as you cut them up, whilst you're preparing them, they'll start to go pink, okay? Even if you blanch them after, when you actually dehydrate them, the potatoes will discolor and keep their pink hue, which make them look rather unattractive. It is nothing wrong with them, they still be edible, but we do eat with our eyes, guys, and to be fair, I might rather look at a really nice golden potato than to look at something that is discolored. Secondly, it is absolutely paramount that you blanch your potatoes. It does go for majority of the fruits and vegetables we dehydrate, but potatoes are one of the most important ones to blanch, because when we don't blanch the potatoes, in this instance, guys, I have blanched, but they were left behind and they got stuck together. And as you can see here on the plate, they started to go black and they pretty much look moldy. This has happened because, as I said, when I was blanching them, the two pieces got stuck together. So the pieces in the middle end up being raw. And then, of course, once we're dehydrating them, the enzymes get in contact with the oxygen and they pretty much oxidize and look very horrible. So if you're like me, again, guys, it is edible. But if I put this in a jar, okay, with all the rest of potatoes, and say I get to that jar a couple of years down the line, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to forget and I'm going to think that they're moldy. So there's absolutely no way I'm going to be using that. And the key point as well, when they go like this, okay, they lose their nutritional value. So this is two very important points to point out before you start dehydrating potatoes. So nonetheless, guys, all right, I've got 4 kilos of potatoes here. Again, it's got to be give or take because obviously the potatoes do go bad. You have some bits that we're going to be cutting off. But the initial thing is, of course, we have to wash them and peel them. For today's purpose, I will be dehydrating them in the slices because I find it to be much quicker. Generally, I also dehydrate them in a shredded way, so you can grate them and then blanch them, but I'm a little bit short on time, and dehydrating when things are grated just takes a little bit more time because of the blanching process, okay? You got to be it creates a bit more mess as well. Nonetheless, that works well. If they're cut really thinly, they dehydrate pretty fast as well. So without further ado, let me get them washed and start peeling them up. So guys, potatoes are washed, so let's get them peeled. I don't need to teach you guys how to peel the potatoes. I like things done quickly, as you know, guys, and I'm sure we're all busy, you're busy, and things need to be done fast, especially when you're trying to get things done between certain times. So, peel your potatoes. Because I'm going to be using a mandolin, okay, I'm going to be cutting off the bottoms of potatoes. What happens is when we dehydrate things, we want things to dehydrate at the same time. Because if I put a really thick chunk of potato alongside of the really thin one, the other one's going to be ready and over dried. In fact, yes, you can over dry certain things, and this is still not going to be cooked, so I'm going to be cutting them off. Don't have to waste them, guys. You can do whatever you need to do, but in this instance, we do not want to have the bums of the potatoes, but this is just my personal choice. So let me continue, guys, with the rest of the potatoes, and I shall see you in a minute. So guys, the potatoes are now peeled and I have rinsed them yet again. I can't stress the importance, guys, of rinsing things. I know we're peeling this, we're boiling this, but You don't want any of the dirt getting in there, even when we're blanching it, because technically, if any dirt goes there, anything that's on the skin gets in that water you're boiling in, you're kind of cooking it in the potato. So just cleanliness is the key, guys. Just make sure you rinse everything. So anyway, potatoes are here. I've got my hand mandolin here, and I've got the pot of water here. The reason is we've got the pot here. Once we're going to be slicing them, I'm going to be putting them here in water to wash off the starch. Potatoes get really hard to work with when they're really starchy. They do cling together, and it just makes our life easier when we come to position them on the dehydrator sheet. I'm using the hand mandolin again because I've gone through so many and I can't find a perfect one. There's also always something wrong with one or the other. I have a food processor, but I'm not able to actually put the whole potato in there to slice it, so you have to cut them in quarters, and I don't want that. I want to have a whole circle potatoes. So I'm going to use that, and you can guys obviously use what you have. So if you do have one of those, do mind your fingers. Mine doesn't or didn't come with a guard, so I have to do this carefully. And then when I come to the end, okay, I have a little fork, just put it in there. It's a really dodgy way of doing that, right? But if anybody got any suggestions for a decent mandolin, okay, and I mean decent one, then please let me know, because yeah, I literally gone through loads. So anyway, I'm slicing them, okay, and they are literally wafer thin, and this is the idea, okay. It's going to make them so much easier and faster to dehydrate, and at the same time it's going to be so much easier to rehydrate, which I'll show you later on. So put them in there. You can see, guys, the water gets cloudy, all that starch is coming off. I don't want it because I want to handle it better. So go again. It saves so much more time than grating, I find. Okay, here we are. Just like that. Put them in there. So let me now continue and do the rest, and I shall see you in a second. So guys, only taking the best part of about 5 minutes, which is absolutely amazing. All the potatoes are done and are soaking or sitting in water. For all of you who's wondering, obviously all the bits, the bumps that you have left, don't discard them. Boil them, make them into the mash and have them with dinner. If you need to add on a bit more, then obviously do so. Otherwise, it's just a little bit of waste. Nonetheless, potatoes are ready. So all I'm going to do now, transfer them into my pan. In fact, probably two. Okay, and then move the camera around. So guys, I have 2 pots of water ready here. They are not full, as you can see. I've put a little bit of water and started warming it up. I just turn this down for the second so you can hear a bit better. And I'm going to now transfer the potatoes between 2 of those pots, okay? The idea is of blanching. Yes, you put your potatoes or any other veg into a boiling water and then boil it for X amount of time. I find this with the potatoes, it just doesn't work. They're really, really dense. It just, for some reason, I prefer to do it this way. But you do what you guys want to do, depending on the size of your, pots and how many potatoes do you have. But nonetheless, let's put that in. Right, so potatoes are now in. You can see that starchy water here, which we don't want. And I have boiled the kettle, and I'm just gonna pour the water on top. And this one as well. Make sure they're semi-covered. Just poke them around a bit. Okay. And we're going to now bring that to the boil. Don't forget, guys, to periodically mix them together. As you can see, this is what happens when they stick together. Okay, the ones in the middle, this is what happened to one of mine. It gets stuck. Just make sure, okay, you separate them. Okay. Pain in the eye to do it, but it's better be safe than sorry. And you can see, okay, let's pick an example for you. You can see here, okay, it started to get, you can see the color change. So in the middle, it's not been blanched properly. The outside has. So once they're all universal color, they're good to go. So guys, in about approximately 4 minutes, okay, that's how long they need to blanch. They should be all done. If you have a look here, they change their color, so they go nice and yellow. So all we're going to do now, okay, you can see that beautiful, healthy color. All we're going to do, obviously going to turn them off the heat. We're going to drain them, and we're going to rinse them under cold water. So there we are. Our potatoes are now done and rinsed. And as I said, by rinsing them just makes it a little bit easier They still get sticky, it is what happens, but it just makes it a tad easier. Again, as I said, to know when they're done, guys, you know that they are gone like yellowy, nice color. If they're snapping now when you touch them, that means you've overdone it, so don't overdo it. And the next thing, as the most tedious one really, is to get those guys laid out on the baking tray. You know me, when I do like to ram the dehydrator with certain things that are like grated, because you can move them about. With the potatoes, things that are sliced, we can't put anything on top, so they should not touch together. There you go. So first one's done. I always put the tissue underneath, not tissue, kitchen towel, just to catch any dribbles if there is any. It's actually a funny thing. We always, I think, everybody who's always in the kitchen always have one of those things that they do. They're just because they just do it. Potentially not for many reasons, but they just do. So if you do have anything like that, please share. I would like to know. Right, second tray's done. So let me continue with the rest and I'll see when they're all done. So guys, the last tray of potatoes is now finished and they're now going to go in the dehydrator at 74 degrees between 6 and 8 hours. As you can see here, I've got a little bit more potatoes left. And I think what I went wrong, guys, when I told you I used 2 bags, 2 kilos, so 4 kilos altogether. I believe the previous lot I did was 1.5 kilo bags, not 2. So hence I got a little bit more spare. But never mind, I am going to end up doing the potato gratin for dinner today. So this is nothing to worry about. So nonetheless, guys, yes. Off it goes in the dehydrator, as I said, 6 to 8 hours. When they're finished, obviously they have to be snappy. So I will see you guys when they're done. So probably be tomorrow. See you then. So voila, guys, our potatoes are done. And every single one of them turned out to be absolutely great. As you've seen from earlier in the video when I showed you that some of them gone a bit pink, obviously due to the cold storage. Don't forget, it is not always up to you. Sometimes we're not aware how supermarkets store their potatoes. If one of them that being too cold, end up being pink. But I'm honestly more than happy to see how nice and golden they all look. And of course, guys, we normally do the test to make sure that something is totally dry, is to try to snap it in half or in 3 pieces, in fact. And if it snaps easily, that means it's totally dry. As you can see, they're super, super thin. This is why it's made it so easily and so quick to dehydrate. So now, guys, without waiting any longer, all we got to do is just to pick them off. And the beauty of them as well, they do not seem to stick, even being that thin. Because there's not a lot of sugar in them, unlike apples, even thin, they just don't stick. So all you got to do, just to put them in your chosen container. As I mentioned, the potatoes do last a very, very long time if you keep them properly, pretty much indefinitely. Okay, so get them all in there. Oh. So here we are, guys. Look, all fitted in the jar. So approximately 3 kilos. You can see that's what it yields you. You can see it's quite a few portions here. So next thing, guys, let me get the kettle and I'll show you what they look like once you dehydrate them. So yeah, literally a couple of minutes in, you can see they literally became pliable and pretty much as hydrated as they were before we started. Don't forget, they're obviously not cooked because we haven't fully cooked them. We only just blanched them, so you will be doing something else with them. But because they're so thin, it is just simply amazing how quickly they become what they were originally. So there we are. This was as simple as that. As I said before, guys, put them in a cool, dry place in an airtight container and they'll be good for a good few years. So anyway, I really do hope that you find this video helpful. Don't forget, please thumbs up, subscribe. It really does help the channel. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.